Good evening to everyone out there in YouTube land. We are and also Twitter land and Facebook land, D Live land, wherever you watch us from. That's cool with me. We are going live in the middle of a pandemic to keep you entertained during your house arrest. Tonight, I am being joined by a guy I've been trying to get on the show for a long time. But before I get into that, remember you can always support the show by patreon.com/John Crump. You can join the conversation over at youtube.com/John Crump. You can make a one-time donation at paypal.me/JohnCC. And let's bring on our guest of the night. He is the one, he is the only, he is the gaming trucker himself. His name is Tivan, but his real name is Tim Roberts. Hey, what's
How you
up,
doing?
Tim? AKA
How you
Tivan
doing?
Joe.
How you doing, John? Thanks for having me on tonight. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm Tim Roberts, aka the Tivan Show, aka Tivan, aka Tripod, aka Skater, aka Mullet Guy.
Party, the business up front, party in the back.
That's right. That's right. Can I read something to you real quick? With everything that's going on,
Absolutely.
we're gonna dive into a few things and some subjects, and I've got my book out, and with everything that's going on, impossible seizures and blah 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 and all this other stuff. This is my soldier's handbook that I had when I was in the army, and I'd like to read the soldier's creed to you. I am an American soldier. I am a man of the United States Army to protect of the greatest nation on earth. Because I am proud of my uniform I wear, I will always act in ways credible to the military service and the nation it is sworn to guard. I am proud of my own organization. I will do all I can do to make it the finest unit of the Army. I will be loyal to those under whom I serve. I will do my full part to carry out orders and instructions given to me by my unit. As a soldier, I realize that I am a member of the time honored profession, that I am doing my share to keep alive the principles, the freedoms for which my country stands. No matter what situation I am in, I will never do anything for pleasure, for profit, for personal safety, which will disgrace my uniform, my unit, or my country. I will use every means I have, even beyond the line of duty, to restrain my Army comrades from actions disgraceful to themselves or to the uniform. I am proud of my country and its flag. I will try to make the people of this nation proud of the service I represent, for I am an American soldier. A lot of guys have forgotten that, and they take the oath and they don't really hold it to their heart. So, my message to you when reading this is, if something would ever come down to where you, as a soldier or a police officer or sheriff or whoever, your first loyalty is to to God, to country, to flag, to family. And I'd ask you to protect yourself, your family, and your property, and do not do anything that is unlawful. If you are giving an order, you believe that that order is not a withstanding order with honor and directly violates your oath of office, your soldier's creed, and the Bible, do not follow it. That's that's it on that part right there. So thank you for letting me read that, John. I deeply appreciate it.
No problem. That's why I keep my Boogaloo shirt close.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So
We're going to get into a bunch of topics tonight. One of the topics we're going to get into is a bill that was introduced a little while ago, but no one really noticed until recently. And that is HR 5717, which is up on the screen now. That's the congressional website right there. HR 5717 is the Gun Prevention and Community Safety Act of 2020, and it is introduced by like Hank Johnson. Do you know?
Representative John Henry C. Hank Jr.
Yeah. Do you know what he's famous for?
Enlighten me.
He was the guy who was worried if we add more troops to Guam that the island might flip over.
Sorry. No, that's not possible. That's a conspiracy theory of all conspiracy theories.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever saw it, but it was freaking hilarious, man.
Did he do like an expose on it or something? Did he have like a documentary on that or something?
No, he asked the general that I'll play it for you, man.
Yeah, go ahead. I've never heard of that. I mean, I've been to Guam. I mean, it takes 20 minutes to walk across it, but
this is
all right, hold on for 1 second. I'm going to play this for you because
okay.
This is the guy that they are pitting all their eggs in their basket of. Give me 1 second. I'm going to play it for you because people don't realize that this is an actual guy who actually thinks this.
This is a island that at its widest level is 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island.
I felt like you passed geography class.
Yeah.
I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that.
Okay, before we get to this general is like, what the hell is this dude talking about? You know, he's like,
way off of the deep end. Like, where's this guy going?
Yeah, he's like, I don't get it. All right, let's continue to play this.
The whole island will become so overly populated that the whole island will.
Figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000 more into the population.
The whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
Which shows that this Tea Party Congress will make the tough choice to keep children's birthday parties on schedule and give industries that rely on helium the lift that they deserve. Imagine, Mr. Speaker, a world without balloons.
Oh my God.
How make sure that the injustice of there being no helium for comedians to get that high-pitched voice that we all hold near and dear to our hearts.
Is this guy still in office?
That's the guy who wrote the bill.
Without balloons.
Yeah, but is he still in office?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Now that's what we're up against, people. That.
Is he still smoking crack or cocaine that was made in the 60s? I mean, has he still got his own private stash from back in the day?
No, dude, I think there has to be some strong weed, man.
Wow.
He's definitely a stone.
How come that wasn't stricken from the record? I mean, that's like straight out stupidity.
Yeah, but did you notice the general there just like trying to hold back the laughter?
Yeah.
Actually say that it's
gonna
weird.
tip over.
That is the guy, people, that is writing this bill. Honestly, this bill is not gonna pass. It's probably not gonna even pass it's so extreme it's not gonna pass. Even if it does pass, there's a lot of other stuff right now, so I don't think it's gonna pass. But even if it does pass the House, it will never pass the Senate. It will be tabled when it hits the Senate. What a lot of people don't realize is this bill has been around for
a long time,
almost 2 months. I wrote about it 2 months ago. It's just sitting there.
Yeah, 1/30 of 2020.
Yeah. Not really sure why it's coming up right now. I wrote about it way back then, and I actually talked about it on a live stream. And I was like, hey, this bill's coming up. No one really needs to worry about it because it's not going to pass. And it's not going to pass.
What gets me is, I mean, Nancy Pelosi tried to throw in a bunch of stuff with emergency bills that they're getting ready to pass for, what, $6 trillion?
Yeah.
They might just sneak it in underneath the last page, like the last paragraph. But it's guys like you and IV88 and Tim and GOA and Mr. Guns and Gears and a lot of other ones, Cody Boy and all those guys. We have eyes, and thank goodness for you and everybody. Hank, they all keep an eye on stuff like that. But thank goodness we got people watching, because there's some stupidity going around. Honestly, I tell you what, if that bill would pass, there'd be a civil war. Straight out. People would not stand for that at all. That'd be like the last stick that broke the camel's back.
Yeah. Let's get into a little bit what the bill says.
Okay.
It tries to ban a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to pull up the text here.
It's banning, shortening, licensing, databasing, safety rule regulations, extreme risk protection programs, identification records. They want which I think is actually a good idea. I think everybody should go and apply for their FFL, because that way everybody would have, what they really want, to make products and to do stuff. It's a little expensive, but if everybody was an FFL, it would be like freedom unleashed, and there would be nothing that they could do to write any bill, because you're a weapons manufacturer. You're not just a regular Joe Schmo.
But to get your FFL, you have to have a certain number of sales. You have to do some transfers and sales. You just can't have an FFL. You also have to have business hours, and and if you have it at your house, you say my business hours are 3 to 6 a day, right?
So my business hours from 12:01 to 12:02 every day.
They want to prove you if that's what it is,
right? I know when I applied for mine, they wanted to know if it was going to be residential or internet or a combination of both. And would I have a storefront? and then you got to go through city council, and then your size of your sign has got to be approved or whatever through your city council. And then they want to nitpick, how tall is the sign, how wide the sign, how tall is the letter, is it lit up? Are you in a residential area where you can have a light on that sign 24 hours a day without hindering your peace and quiet and tranquility of your neighborhood, your neighbors, and you get in a lot of the city council stuff. It's a pain in the butt, but
yeah, it's very, very interesting to get your FFL. There were a couple different things. It's $200 for the FFL. Kermit Loves Bacon wants to know, which that's just beginning. You have to go down and get a permit, even if it's out of your house, to do retail out of your house. That's another thing that you have to do. If you're renting a place, you have to have the owners sign off. If you're not renting a place and you own a place, you have to submit proof that you actually own the place. You have to have an ATF inspection where they will come and see where you're storing the guns. If you have your own private guns and guns, if you FFL, you have to have a separate locker from them. You have to set up business hours. I think it's like at least, I can't remember. There's a minimum that you have to be. And at any time, the ATF can show up and search your place. You have to give them your articles of incorporation and your business license and your tax information to show that you're actually a business. You have taxes. Uh, it's going to run you about probably a little bit over $1,000 to have it set up with all the permits and everything else that you need. And then the paperwork requirements. You have to keep the 4473 for 25 years, and whatever your state law says, which is different for like the state forms. You have to actually do at least a couple transfers a month, or they're going to say you're not a business and do all that.
right. I know they were trying when I went through this do all this stuff, and had to go to the sheriff, and they wanted to know exactly like the exact location of where things would be stored.
Yeah.
Did you have security surveillance?
Yep.
They wanted to know if I would have a book for like sign in, sign out of who comes into the establishment. And I'm like, are you allowed to do that? They wanted records, who comes, who goes, where it's at. If you take it out of here, you got to sign it out.
Yeah.
If you go to the gun runs, you want to take something, you got to have documentation and to take with you and sign it out. Yeah, it's a big pain in the butt. But how far do you want to go? Is how big your wallet is.
Yeah, I dropped mine because I have one out of my house. I had stores. I had a couple, and then I actually had it at my house. I dropped it out of my house because, like, dude, I don't want the ATF coming. So I dropped my FFL. It's just a lot of paperwork requirements and everything else, logbooks. It's
a full-time job.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. And it's expensive, and not everyone can do it because if you not allowed for light retail out of your home, then you can't get it. You also have to do background checks and everything else, and the ATF will actually come out and interview you.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep. I had ATF and FBI.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So this bill is probably not going to go anywhere, but it's a good thing to keep on monitoring it. It's in 3 different committees now. It's in the Ways and Means, the Judiciary, and Energy and Commerce. It's been referred to all those. And I think the reason why it came up on the 10th, the House Judiciary referred it to the House Judiciary Subcommittee of Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security, and I think that kind of set off alarm bells for everyone, and they saw what I saw months ago. But honestly, I don't think it's going. It has to come out of all committees, and I don't think it's going to come out of the committees.
Not as it's written now, dude. Anybody that's got any common sense would say, "Oh, heck no."
No, I don't
And
think it's on the committees at all.
I don't think it will. But here's a real good thing that some people have caught. You've seen the pictures on Twitter and Instagram of all the kids and parents and neighbors and everybody wanting to buy guns in California, and then all of a sudden, 10-day wait. What do you mean 10-day wait? You mean I can't go home with it right now? Well, no, it's a 10-day wait. So then they go home and jump on the internet and say, "Oh, I don't want to buy this," and they'll deliver it right to my house.
Yeah.
No. And then the governor of California suspended. So let's say you went and bought a gun and you're in day 5 of your 10-day wait, and then all of a sudden it's suspended. You're not going to get your gun in 5 days either because everything is suspended.
Yeah.
I apologize. My wife's over here playing Call of Duty. You might hear her in the background.
Yeah, I play Call of Duty all the time, and
Yeah.
I have she been playing the new they patched today. I haven't looked to see what they added, but have you know the new Battle Royale?
I've looked at it. A couple of my buddies, Drifter and all them guys, have been playing it. I've been watching a lot of their content and stuff. I just play hardcore. So a lot of you guys are new here and not aware. I'm a truck driver. I'm a gamer. I'm a YouTuber. A little bit of social media, but my primary way of income is transportation. I've been a truck driver for about 25 years in the civilian world, and I got about 4.2 million miles right now. So
we're gonna get into that in 1 second, but
yeah,
I just want to say that I hate Battle Royale games.
Now the Pub Mobile's kind of cool. I've been playing a little bit of Pub Mobile, and I played a little bit of the Call of Duty Mobile. But if you notice, Call of Duty Mobile, 9 out of the 10 games you play, you're playing against bots. So I mean, I've dropped so many nuclears on the Call of Duty Mobile, I just got bored and don't play it anymore.
Yeah, I play Call of Duty on PC. Tivan plays it on PS4.
Yes. I never got into the PC stuff, man. A lot of my friends do. Hike, he does PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Drifter does PC and I think he does PC and PlayStation 4. So
Yeah,
a lot of other guys, everybody's just on PlayStation.
Kathleen thought you were a comedian.
Do what now?
Kathleen over on the Facebook chat thought you were a comedian.
Oh, hi Kathleen, how you doing?
Well, you know,
No. Yeah. So I mean, if you want to joke or whatever, you know, I had a kid ask me if I play Xbox 360, and I told him, I said, the only 360 I play is underneath the sheets with your mom. I got a kick out of it. Sorry. I didn't know if that was appropriate or not. I apologize, but
well, I told you go anywhere.
Yeah, I've cracked a couple jokes here and there.
Moms, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So being a truck driver, man, I got a couple questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, John Voorhees wants to know about Call of Duty. I play the the latest Modern Warfare.
Yes, they just had a big update and like restructured the whole game as far as the face and the initial and the setups and stuff. But I just play hardcore. I don't get into any of the core games, and we just play team deathmatch, domination, and kill confirmed. I gave up on trying to get all the awards and everything. I just got my guns leveled up, and I just play to play. I don't do the challenges and go for the race for max prestige. And I mean, I did all that stuff back in the day, but now I'm probably one of the oldest gamers on YouTube. I mean, I'm 48. Yeah, 48. How do you think about it?
I'm only 3 years younger than you, but I was watching you play Call of Duty, and you were posted up as a sniper, just like taking people out. And one of the things I noticed during that game was, how the hell did no one see you?
Yeah. Camping. And to be honest with you, a lot of people like to head glitch. We'll get into the game here. A lot of people like to head glitch or, peek around a corner or whatever. To be honest with you, go lay down right in the middle of the street. They don't even see it. They'll walk right past you. They just think you're a dead body on the floor. You just sit right there and, get 1 or 2 kills, move. Don't sit there and try to go for 3, 4, 5 kills, whatever. Get 1 or 2 kills. By the time the next guy comes up, you can pop him. Well, the first guy you shot's already responded, and he's on his way up, and he knows you're sitting in that one spot. So, play combat lifesaver. Stick and move, stick and move, stick and move. And I know guys that'll drop 80, 90 kills, and go right on, they just kick butt in domination. They don't even go for the flags or anything. They just stick, move, get 1, 2 kills, go over here and sit behind that, get 1, 2 kills, go lay down in the middle of the ground, 1, 2 kills. Guys dropping nuclears all the time, man. I mean, there's different strategies and different, ways to play and everything, but, it's your style, the game mode you're playing, the type of guns you're using. And that was one of the main things when I got out of the Army. I was a mechanic for a while, and I got into truck driving. And then I've been playing video games since 1985. And I've loved video games all my life. I just love playing them. It's fun. It's good pass the time. It keeps you out of trouble. I'm fortunate that my wife is a gamer as well. So, I mean, I've got my computer here, and then I've got a TV there, and then a TV there. Here, I can show you guys real quick. Let me take you off here. I mean, okay, I got my computer set up and everything, and then there's her TV sitting over playing Call of Duty, and then there's the TV we watch, and then I've got my computer and stuff right here, and then this is where I game at right here. So I just sit right here and play all day long.
Oh, nice. Yeah, gaming has been always a release for me. But let's get into your truck driving. So you are a truck driver, and with this whole COVID-19 Chinese virus, Wuhan virus, coronavirus, Kung Flu, whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
Truck drivers, I think, are one of the unsung heroes in this, because without truck drivers, we would be screwed. Everything still has to move. The essential businesses can stay open because of truck drivers. I know you right now are like on what is it, workers' comp, I think.
Well, I'm off right now. I had shoulder surgery done, but everything that's going on, it still pertains now as what it did before all this was done. If you go to an rest area, you don't touch nothing. It's just the way it's been. A lot of it has to do with my military training. I ran single for 2 years, and then I ran team with an old Army buddy of mine for almost 16 years. And then the rest of it, I've been running single over the road for the company I work at. But I was always aware, because, when you go into truck stops, cleanliness is also healthiness. One of the big things that goes around that a lot of people don't think or talk about is athlete's foot. Well, I need to take a shower. I need to maintain personal hygiene. And when you go into truck stops, a lot of them are clean and everything, but you always wear sour shoes. You always are aware of your surroundings. I would never eat, nor have I ever ate at a buffet in a truck stop. You get guys that'll come in. I mean, there's some nasty guys that are truck drivers. I mean, straight out. There are some good, neat, honest, hardworking truck drivers out there that try to maintain their cleanliness. But like buffets, you get 35, 40 people that's coming in there. Even if the dude's clean, he just got done working on his truck. He might have grease underneath his fingernails, or he just went in and used the bathroom. Yeah, he washed his hands, but the guy in front of him didn't, and he's on the buffet grabbing all the spoons and the handles. you know, and you're sitting there and you always see that one guy's eating a dessert, you know, getting out, licking his fingers after he ate his cherry pie or whatever. But you really have to watch what you do, where you're at, who you're around, and always try to keep a self awareness of your personal hygiene. You know, what the type of job that I have driving a truck, I run terminal to terminal. So I don't deal with customers. I don't deal with people picking up and delivering. I run terminal to terminal. So I'd go to the truck stops. I'd go to like Subway or whatever. You know, they always use the rubber gloves. You know, Arby's does the same thing. McDonald's, you know, they all maintain a level of cleanliness. And a lot of the truck stops do too, like they're dine-ins. But you always have to be aware. You've got feet problems. You've got, you know, personal hygiene where guys are not washing their hands after using the bathrooms. You also got to think, you know, if a guy's sitting in the same seat for 5 years and, you know, he's got countless of hundred thousands of miles and you're eating truck driver food, you're going to be gassy. A lot of guys don't put like a t-shirt on the bottom of their seat to, you know, keep clean where you can take off and you can wash it. That's why a lot of truck drivers like leather. You know, you can spray it down with an antibacterial or Lysol, or you can buy the Windex antibacterial and spray stuff down. If you get in a truck that a guy smokes, which I do, you know, after 2 or 3 weeks, you kind of notice things are starting to, the dirt sticking to things, or you get a little bit of that yellowish tinge from cigarettes. Well, keep your truck clean. You know, cleanliness is loveliness. You know, I take my bedding home every week and wash it. I keep my trucks clean. You know, I put carpet in my truck. I got a little vacuum cleaner. You know, that's my home away from home. I did hear on the news today that if you're a truck driver, you can download the app or whatever. And if you're in a truck stop and there's a McDonald's there, you can prepay and they'll bring your food to you. Now, with all the food and everything, within the last 3 years has been really a godsend for truck drivers. You've got Grubhub and other apps like that. If I go to a specific place or a terminal, or if I need to shut down for my break, you know, I bring up Grubhub. I'll find a local business, or I'll Google a local pizza shop or something and ask them if they deliver. You know, every time I go to Chicago, there's 2 pizza places up there. Hey, you know, I call before I even get there, you know, hey, I want a pizza delivered, and they bring it right up to the gate and eat. It's really been a godsend with some of the apps that's out there now that, you know, it's really helped out the truck drivers. Getting products, food, cleaning supplies, you know, places to do your laundry. I mean, there's guys that go out and they look at it as they're a military soldier. They'll go out for 6 months, make as much money as they possibly can, and then they go home for a month or 2, and then they go back out. You got guys that are home every night, you know, like a UPS driver, or you got guys that goes out for a week, which is what I do. I go out Monday morning and I come back either Friday night, Saturday morning. I spend the weekend at home, which I do all my gaming, my guns, and all that video content. And then I go right back out on the road. With everything that's going on, I've talked to a lot of my friends. You know, a lot of the rest areas are closed. The scale houses are closed. You know, guys are looking for places to stop and eat. You also got to take into consideration of what part of the country you're in. You know, I live in Ohio. Well, I usually stop and get like some groceries at Walmart or whatever, or I'll stop at a little convenience store and get all of my drinks and all my food before I leave, because if I go up on the East Coast, it's so expensive to live and consume products up there. So
area. I live right outside the.
Yep. And then, you know, a lot of guys are talking about this coronavirus and everything. If you ever went to the restaurant and got the iced tea and literally 30 minutes later you got to use the bathroom, you ever notice that? Or you get a pop or a soda? It's because you're drinking water that's not indigenous to your area and your body's not used to it. So it goes right through you. If you buy your pop and your bottled water in the area that you live, you don't have to use the bathroom as much as normally as what you would. Say I go out to Nevada or Colorado and I stop at a restaurant and eat and I want to get an iced tea. You drink that iced tea, 30 minutes later, you got to use the bathroom. It's because your body's not used to the water and the products that you consume that's indigenous to your area.
I lived in the so I
like-
can drink anything.
Do what now?
I lived in the Philippines. I can drink anything now.
Oh, you're good to go then.
Yeah, that shit. You'll get sick there for like within if you're there for any more than 2 weeks, you're going to get sick. But that's
All right. Want to say hi real quick?
Good.
Okay. But yes, wife just went by. She's going back upstairs. But yeah, I mean, the water treatment plants and the chemicals that they use in the water in your local village water or whatever, with the coronavirus, it's like the same. You got to wash, you got to maintain your cleanliness. When you're at the gas pumps, I always wear gloves. I never grab the gas thing because as soon as you put it away, you're putting your credit card back in where you get the residue from the fuel and stuff, and it's in your wallet. Well, then you track all that everywhere you go. You go home, you're putting it on stuff. Same thing with your money. I try to use a card 99% of the time, if all possible. Cash is like the second or third dirtiest thing that you can possess, use. It's your cell phone is one, your glasses is like two, and then cash is three. So
I'm OCD, so I clean my cell phone probably like 5 times a day with like alcohol wipes and everything else.
Yeah, I seen a kid the other day took a cell phone, went like that, and wiped it off so he could continue using it. And I was like, "Oh my god!"
You know what? I never thought I would say this, but with this whole Corona thing, my OCD is probably a very, very good thing. Because I wash my hands like 30 times a day. I clean off everything. We have a question. John Voorhees wants to know how far you use your routes on truck driving.
My company uses a theory called a wagon wheel, and whatever terminal that you're based out of, you can figure 10 to 15 hours within your home terminal, and then you can zigzag around, go back and forth and crisscross and everything as far as a single over the road driver. That way they ensure if there's an emergency, they can get you home. Or if they get a hot load, they know where everybody's at, and then they can either get you to do that or they'll relay. And we have what's called slip drivers. They run out 5 hours, they drop and hook with another guy, then they go back to their home terminals. So if I'm like out here at noon, 2 o'clock, and they got a load that needs to go from Philadelphia up to Manchester, well, they'll have a guy slip it halfway, and then they'll slip it back over to Philadelphia. So when I get up in the morning, I can take it from Philadelphia and run up to my hours of limit up to, the Northeast, wherever it may be. And then you run in that circle. Our teams, we have dedicated runs that go from point A to point D. When I ran team, I ran buck wild. We could be in Ohio today, and 2.5 days later, I'd be sitting in LA, or I'm in Washington State, or, I'm down in McAllen or Hidalgo, Texas, or Brownsville, or, I could be Miami in 18.5 hours from my Ohio terminal. So the company I work for is a great company. I've been there 22 years. I think it's 22 years now. And I love it. I grew up in the trucking industry, so I already knew what I was getting into before I became a truck driver. My dad was a truck driver. He was an owner operator. He had 10 trucks at one time. And I figured, I looked at my old man, got a high school diploma, He raised 3 kids, lived on a farm. You know, he did well for himself. I figured, you know what, I can do the same thing. And I naturally fell into it, and I'm good at it. So I just went with it. I mean, I started out delivering pizzas at 16. I was a driver in the Army. You know, I've been on 4 continents in 123 different countries. So I got to see a lot, got to do a lot of off-roading, especially in Korea. My captain over there, man, he loved to go off-roading.
Where were you in Korea?
Initially it was at Camp Stanley, and then Camp Stanley, and then we went over behind Camp Casey, and then I actually had some relatives that was over there at the same time, so I got to go over to CRC, and then various different places. I've been up to the DMZ a couple times. You know, I was a command driver, so you know I got to float around a lot and see a lot of Korea. Been down to Jeju-do a couple times. You know, me and a bunch of guys every weekend, we used to go up to Seoul. You know, it's a beautiful city. And then other weekends, we'd go up on top of the mountain, and you can see Seoul. Seoul's like the 3rd largest city in the world.
Yeah.
And you're right there above the cloud line, but just you're right there. And when you see Seoul, I mean, it's literally all the way across, and most of them buildings are, you know, 50-story buildings, and they look that tall.
My wife lives at Osan Air Base over there for a year, so I've seen a lot of her pictures, and she talks about how beautiful it is. My sister Kelly wants to say thank you for all you do, Tivan, driving and everything like that.
I appreciate it. Now let's change it just a little bit. And with everything that's going on, they changed the hours of service. So some truckers that are hauling reefers, you know, raw materials for like fruits and vegetables that goes from the farms to the factories, and then they do the packaging, and then from there over to the distribution centers, and from the distributions to the stores. Their hours of operations have changed a little bit. There's still certain guidelines. A company's not going to run you ragged to where you're doing this when you're trying down the road and you're trying to stay awake. You know, today's trucking industry is not like what it was 10 years ago. They're more apt for the condition of the driver, and they've taken the responsibility to make sure that, you know, you do your job, but they're not going to stretch you out to where it's going to cost them $3 million when you're in an accident. So my company's been real good about stuff like that. I mean, we run electronic logs. I run my 10, 11 hours. I go to bed. I get up. I run my 10, 11 hours. Now, like some of the flatbed guys are hauling like raw products and steel, depending on if it's to a car manufacturer or to a specific needed open company, you know, designated by the government as essential. A lot of those guys are running, but there's still some mom and pop small trucking companies that, you know, this haul general freight and they don't meet the criteria. So they're still running, but a lot of things have changed over the last 10 years or so, especially with electronic logbooks and everything. It is a little bit of a pay cut, I'll be honest with you, but I've had a great career in the trucking industry. The biggest thing that people really needed to watch what's going on right now, you know, you see all these pictures of the towns are deserted and there's not very much traffic and there's only like 2 or 3 people out there. Trucking is the backbone of America. If trucks are not moving, America stops. Everything you do or consume is brought to you by a truck. Everything from your toilet paper to the electricity that's on in your house. Coal trucks had to take the coal to the coal plant to bring the electricity to be burnt. And, you know, your computers to your drinking water to your city water. Well, the city has to have trucks bring in chemicals to purify and clean your water and to bring the filters in to process the water for you to consume, you know, at your home. Natural gas. It takes truck drivers to bring the pipes to bury the pipes, to bring the equipment in, to dig the pipes. You know, everything. America is consumed and brought to you by truck drivers. Everything is brought to you by trucks.
All right, we're gonna have 2 questions on this, and we're gonna move on to a different topic.
Okay.
John Voorhees wants to know, what area of Ohio are you from?
Somerset, Ohio, just east of Columbus.
Columbus. Oh, yeah. So you're down there. Yeah, that's nice.
I'm down in the sticks, man.
Yeah, yeah. You have Columbus, then about an hour away is not is it Cleveland? No, Cleveland's north.
Cleveland, Toledo's north, Cincinnati south, Dayton's west, Zanesville east.
Yeah, Cincinnati. And
About
Kermit
2
Love
hours.
wants to know, what is the worst state to drive in?
It's changed. Down
Okay.
Louisiana used to be really bad because it's mainly on a swamp, so you just bounce. But overall, they just opened up the Massachusetts turnpikes. You don't have all the toll booths anymore. Pennsylvania is slowly doing that, so you don't have as much backups. I would say Rhode Island, Bronx is probably the worst, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, John Voorhees is from Wapakoneta something. I don't know.
Wapakoneta.
Yeah. Yeah. Wapakoneta. Yeah. Okay.
I hope I was close.
Let's change. I have no idea. You're closer than I am. So, we want to talk about this stuff that's going on. A lot of mayors from around the country are using the whole coronavirus thing to do stuff like try to regulate the sale of guns and ammunition. A lot of them claim that they have emergency powers to ban guns and ammunition. And even in Bellingham, Washington, the mayor says, I can also determine who can carry a gun, how they can carry a gun, and where they carry a gun, even though that Washington does have preemption and that would violate preemption. But she's going on the thing saying, hey, you know what? This is an emergency.
It
And
doesn't matter if it's an emergency or not. It takes an act of Congress to change, alter, add to, or delete the Constitution of the United States. Congress did not give her the authority to override the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah. This writer, he's a shitty writer named John Crump, who writes over at AmmoLand, wrote a story
By the
about
way,
it.
make sure you guys do go to ammoland.com. Check out John Crump. He does have fantastic articles over on AmmoLand. So check it out. Be engaged. John is one of the rare publishers on social media that writes articles that will actually answer you if you have a legitimate question. I mean, you just can't say, hey, dude, do you eat garlic bread with your spaghetti?
I answer those type of questions too.
Yes, but you are one of the rare guys that actually that gets involved and engages. When you write an article, people will comment. I've seen you go back in and say, yeah, and then leave a link so a guy can actually follow what you're doing to back up, what you're saying.
Everything I do is very, very well sourced. I never go with one source. They have to be multiple sources. And I do original reporting, which a lot of people don't do. I see a lot of people, I mean, just some sites just copy, they'll
copy and paste.
I like another article and just basically reword it. I like going in there, going to the actual, I don't even read it. I say, okay, somebody's saying like, HR 5617, for example. Instead of what other people are saying about it, I actually won't even look at their stuff. I go in there and look at it and write it. But that's just me. Everyone has their own style of writing.
Well, let me give you a quick little story.
Okay.
There's a guy that everyone is aware of, and he writes article, and he was a part of some other social organizations that writes articles, and I was aware of the guy, and I thought he was just straight spitting off stuff that he had no clue, and he was totally biased about a product. So I commented, and I got such a ripping backlash, better than thou attitude about the subject. And I thought, okay, this guy's not worth my time, blah, 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 blah. 6, 7 months went by, and this individual popped up on another podcast and was I'm not going to say like reoccurring like every week, but he'd pop on once or twice a month. And I thought, how do I create something for this guy that not only can he prove nor can he disprove a accusation that I can put forth towards him to justify, to see what he would do. Well, if you guys follow me over on Hank Strange, you guys know here about a year or so ago, I made a comment about a EMP proof gun. Now there is some history behind it. And then when when they first originally came out, you could take them apart and you can pass through a metal detector and they were undetectable. Gun companies had to find ways in order to make that plastic resonant material to where it could be seen by radar or X-ray or by whatever means, that it could no longer be an invisible gun if you took it apart and you hide parts. Well, I told this guy, he's a writer, and he does have a couple articles out there that's really interesting, fantastic. And I told him one time that, the reason that I won't own one is because they're not EMP proof. And he just went like that, said loser, and just went off the deep end and thinks I'm the worst thing that ever happened, that I have no clue about anything. And the accusation that I had made about it being EMP proof, well, you can't prove nor can you disprove my accusations. And he never came out. I figured, okay, he's going to take it to the end. He's going to do some backstory. He's going to do some research, and he's going to come up with an article and prove me wrong. He never did it. So that's why I respect you, John, is because you are thorough. You're not biased. You give an honest opinion. You do your facts. You do your historical research on things. And I apologize for taking for long for me to get on with you and everything. And it's an honor. So thank you. But you're one of the most credible resources that I have found for people to, read your articles, read your content, or, hey, I know about this. You need to check this out.
I get a
type
lot
of guy.
That's one of the reasons why I get about 50 or 60 messages a day. Most of them are like leads that leads nowhere. Like I get a lot of crackpot leads, but I follow up on all of them because you just never know when you're gonna have a big one. I'm sitting on a ATF document right now, another ATF leak document from my source that always leaks me ATF documents that I'm going to write about shortly. I just have to get writing about it. But it's an NFA ATF thing that's
right.
I'll break it here. Just
one real quick thing there I wanted to pass on to finish up for the trucking stuff. When you're out and about and you just all of a sudden happen to know that there's no trucks on the road, be aware of your situation. Now, there's probably 6 or 7 major food distribution centers around the United States. It's only going to take 1, maybe 2, if their employees get infected to where they have to shut down. That's when you're going to see something really hit the fan and see the shortages in the food industry. Now, when I say food, That's plastic forks, spoons, napkins, Kool-Aid, produce, meats. Now, if you buy your meat at Walmart, 99% of that comes from like Nigeria, Nicaragua, all those countries, South America. That's why you get your meat cheaper at Walmart. I would highly suggest that if you're buying your meat, get it from a local grocery store, mom and pop grocery store, where they source their meat locally within, their area. That's the best way to get your meat. But as far as other products and stuff, like Walmart, I can go to IGA and buy 10 items, and then I can go to Walmart and buy the exact same 10 items, but it's a $40 difference more expensive in IGA. Well, that's why Walmart do it, because they buy in such bulk, and or they buy bulk from overseas that gives you the discount. That doesn't mean that those products are any worse or better than the ones you buy over here. It's just how they purchase and where they get their stuff made at. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Argentina actually has really good beef.
Yep.
And so does Japan.
Did you say your wife was in Korea?
She was. She was
Does she miss Yaki Mandu?
I doubt she eats. My wife really doesn't eat Korean food. She eats like an American food, and she eats she eats Indian and some Thai, but in the Thai, mostly Italian. We eat Italian a lot. My wife is Italian, and I'm not talking about like, she has an Italian last name, so she's Italian. I'm talking about Italian was her first language. English is her second language. Italian.
You eat a lot of pasta.
Oh yeah, very pasta.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law is fantastic. My wife is a great cook, but my mother-in-law is a fantastic cook.
So I'm requesting spaghetti. Freeze it, put it in dry ice, and just send it right on over FedEx next day.
Yeah, it's a lot of Sicilian food.
Okay.
Sheila says, prayer for all the truck drivers and safety on the road. But my wife's mom makes these rice balls. And these rice balls, it's like a Sicilian we don't have them very often because they're very, very time consuming to make. But it's like rice with ground beef in it and cheese, and it's just. And then you
only buy American rice.
Oh, why is that?
Ask your wife. She was in Korea.
Oh, I bought rice in the Philippines.
I'm not going to comment. It's not the place for that, but only buy American rice. The sanitary and hygiene and how it's grown, you'd never eat it again. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, do that. Now, in the Philippines, I eat a lot of stuff that I didn't really probably should. I think my immune system grew from living in the Philippines when I was in the Philippines.
Spices and stuff. But this next time you see a truck driver, just go like this. You're going down. He'll beep his horn for you. Truck drivers are awesome people, man. There's really a good community out there.
Yeah, I got to teach my sons that. No, but in the Philippines, when you talk about spicy food in Southeast Asia, there is a difference in spice levels.
Yes.
Their mild is our freaking hot.
Yes.
I was over there, and like the second day I was there, I went to a restaurant. I was like, I went to a restaurant and I ordered. They're like, oh, how spicy you want? I'm like, hot. They're like, she's like, oh, did you just get to the Philippines? I was like, yes. She's like, okay, well, you want mild, but no, I want hot. She's like, I'm gonna bring you a sample of our hot. And I took a bite of it. I was like, yep, but now here's the thing. I ate so much spicy, I got used to the spice. So now the spice here, I went to order something like spice, like a Thai or Indian. I had to get extra spice in it because I can't taste hot spice anymore.
Did you go down a rabbit hole of trying to get on that whole spice? Because it's addictive. Because if you like spice, there's spicy, and then there's hot and spicy. And then there's just, oh my God, my mouth is on fire, hot and spicy. There's guys that get on them those like hot sauce kicks, and they're putting a little bit of hot sauce, and they think, "Oh my God, look at this!" You know, the devil's balls sweat. You know, hot, and then you get in them Carolina Reapers, and they keep chasing that thrill of that hot.
Dude.
I mean, what's the guy on YouTube that does the chicken with the guests, the TV stars and stuff?
Yeah, the hot. Was it hot? Wait,
Hot ones.
Hot ones, yeah.
You get on that gravy train, dude, and you're trying to chase that hot sauce. I'm surprised that man is not dead. But you notice that he's now has a TV show where he's not eating them anymore.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the one chip challenge?
I can't do it, man.
There is a company that makes it's called Packwai, and they make
It's like a Dorito, right?
yeah. Hold on, I'll let me bring this up because this is funny. We'll end on this note with the one chip challenge.
Okay.
Sorry.
John there says, I ate a ghost pepper cheese and scorpion cheese, and that is very spicy. Dude, that's not only spicy, that's like butthole hard on flame. Hot.
All right, here you go. I'm not going to play this all. I'll just play a little thing. So,
oh, I remember that.
Look, they all ate it.
Yes.
Are you rolling, Dave? Okay, here. My only goal for this is to not abandon the children, whether in the classroom at 9:30.
Yes. They're all broke out and sweating and drooling, and that one girl on the far right, I think she ended up getting the heaves real bad, and I think they ended up taking her to the hospital.
Yeah.
So this one we can.
Okay.
It is 8:52. Okay, we gotta get right to it.
Right here, I'm trying to.
You're not supposed to touch your face. Okay.
And 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it didn't hit you right away, man. It's like there's a couple. It's like a few seconds delay.
Yeah, he's done.
Skywatch weather camera brought to you by the original Alberta Carpet Cleaning and Alberta Furnace Cleaning. Best value.
You'll see. Okay, now it's starting to hit.
Oh. Now it's bad.
Oh, that's that creepers, man. Creepers. Oh, yeah. Kermit said, John, finish the ATF update before we end up.
So basically, I found out that the ATF don't have a complete list of all the machine guns in the NFA. They have a list of serial numbers, but they don't have a list of what all those serial numbers belong to.
Whoa, say it again now.
They have a list of all the serial numbers on the NFA for machine guns, but they don't have a list of what the serial numbers correspond to on a lot of the old ones.
Yeah, they don't know what they are. They just got the serial numbers.
Correct.
Aren't they trying to go around and get that information?
Not that I know of. They right now are trying to just ignore it, but no one really knows us yet. So you guys are the first to know. Breaking story! Woohoo!
Yeah. Don't they also have like multiple weapons with the same serial number? Don't they have that issue too?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. That is one thing, and there's probably more of those serial numbers that what's going on. Let me just fast forward this so I can show you.
Yeah, go ahead.
People think Joel's gonna win.
So this is.
And then 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers to everyone out there. It's so much worse.
Oh my God.
They're like,
I can't do that.
look, the dude's gone.
I still have chicken.
He's like, I'm gone.
It's burning behind my right.
So epic.
How long does this?
On fire.
So epic, dude.
Look at his tears coming down.
How it was so.
Oh yeah. So, yes, Kermit, we do need to make Machine guns legal again. I was really hoping Trump would repeal the '86 ban,
I knew he
and
would.
I know he wouldn't. I was kind of hoping, but with everything that's going on, every state's different. I am not an attorney, but if somebody would approach your house, please be mindful that we're all neighbors, we're all Americans. If you got somebody knocking on your house that needs help, by all means, help. Give a handout. If you can spare something, by all means. But if they threaten you in any way, shape, or form in the state of Ohio, make sure they're inside your house before you conduct an activity. Not getting restrictive, but check with your local state laws and everything. I mean, right now everything is like even Steven. There's not really much going on, and stuff really hasn't hit the fan yet. And now that we possibly have a cure with this malaria drug, I think things are going to turn around real fast, and America is going to be right back up on top. But
Do
let's
not
just say that didn't happen.
do not take
Stuff
the
was
malaria, do not take that malaria drug unless you have the COVID-19, because that
yes,
shit it has some real bad side effects. That's the only problem.
yes. And I think that's one reason why they've been hesitant. I guess it's already saved 3 people's lives.
Yeah,
So,
keep on going.
but with everything that's being said, like I said, I understand protecting yourself, protect your home, protect your family. God willing. But if somebody's knocking on your door and they need help, I mean, right now's the time to be cautious, be aware. There possibly could be some people that they need a handout, and if you can give them, water or something to eat, depending on where you're at, a highly populated area, try to have that humanity about you. Don't be like a cold stone killer or whatever. But if somebody's threatening you, by all means, take whatever necessary actions that you deem that you need to do. With things that are going on now with this new drug and possible cures and stuff, I don't think that it's going to get in chaos or a civil war or society's going to fall. I think we're on the rebound right now, and I think that's a good thing.
I hope so. Carmen Loves Bacon talking about the new Connecticut AR lures that are being sold. I want to have Holly back on the show so we can discuss that and everything else going on in Connecticut here. But okay, let's wrap it up. Hey,
Yes, sir.
Tell people how they can find you, and I'll put it up as you talk about it.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm Tim Roberts, AKA Tivan, AKA The Tivan Show. Over on YouTube, you can find me on The Tivan Show there. Instagram is HC Tivan. That's Hardcore Tivan. And I ended up getting rid of my Facebook. I had some issues with Facebook with guns and things like that. But I do gaming, vlogs, breakdown videos, gun videos, car videos, in the shop videos. We just held the Creator Summit 2nd annual event, and we had a big disappointment with our last one. So there was a bunch of events and things that was going around, and everybody kind of like got paid to go to another event and kind of ditched us, which is cool. Do what you got to do. Working with Trey from Aries Firearms down in Florida. So we're hoping to do that.
Trey's a great guy.
Oh, yeah, awesome guy. Very respectful. So we're hoping to maybe do a Creator Summit South. And what that is a bunch of small content creators that really wouldn't have a chance to get a break in the game and social media to where, hey, how did you live stream? Well, we got somebody there to show you how to do that. Or how do you edit videos? Or, you want to learn about this, whether it be guns or cars or editing or programs or the internet or learning social media or how to get started. It's a collaboration of a bunch of small content creators that can group together, go out, have a range day, have fun, get content, collaborate, which is the key to growing on YouTube, social media in general. Collaboration is key. I do run another thing called Team Live, and we've got 6 or 7 other content creators that are gamers, and we all back each other and support each other and do all that kind of stuff. But we're hoping to do the Creator Summit in Florida next September if things work out. Down at Aries down there, everything's going on with me having the surgery and all this coronavirus stuff. Everything's just been put on hold. So stay tuned. John will do a review on it and publish an article on it. So, but all seriousness, guys, make sure you follow John over there. If you're watching this on my end on my channel, I'll have this video up over on my platforms as well. Make sure you guys check out John Crump on his YouTube channel.
That's copywriting for no, just joking.
Yeah. So, but thank you for having me on. I apologize. It's been so long trying to get on, dude. It's been crazy, dude. It's been real crazy.
I understand. I've been wanting to have you on. Yeah. Gunathon is canceled. It's postponed till the fall. Virginia right now, we could have Gunathon, but we can't really have Gunathon at all. Lockdown orders would have just flown it, so it's not official business. So Gunathon is postponed until the fall. Hopefully everything will be better, but we are waiting until the whole Corona crap blows over before we reschedule the Gunathon. All right,
Yep.
that is it for me. You can always let me give out my plugs: Instagram, Facebook, Real John Crump, Patreon.com/John Crump, like a super chat, PayPal.me/John CC, and you can always join Gun Owners of America for 25% off. The link is in the description and up on the screen, so you can go click on that and join us over on the Virginia GOA Facebook page, which you see right there. It's really cool. We have a lot of interaction and stuff like that. And always join the conversation at youtube.com/John Crump and visit BlackSwanTactical.com. Buy a shirt. We got some patches coming out, some very, very limited edition patches. And I'll get you a patch out, Tivan. I don't know.
Yeah, please. Please. I'll pimp it, dude.
No quarter for tiring.
I'm pimping my optics jacket right here.
There you
promo code Tivan, 10% off.
There you go. All right, guys. This has been fun tonight, and we will see you later. I am going to hit the video out, and bye.
Sure.